Yeah, go ahead and start recording. You know how to do it, right? Okay. Morning, guys. All right, great imitator, clap, drips, the dose, Cupid's disease. All these names are for syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. Anybody got any other ones? Okay, huh? Herpes is not a name for gonorrhea, syphilis, or chlamydia. A good try. Completely different. Alright, today I'm talking to you guys about bacterial STDs. A Center for Disease Control study on military members found that males in the military had an infection rate nearly double the national average. Perhaps it's because, by and large, we're an organization for young men, or maybe it's because we're death-delivering sex tornadoes. But STDs reduce our ability to operate. I'm going to be going over long-term effects, social stigma, and the reduction of our warfighting abilities. The American Sexual Health Association states that about half of new STD infections this year will happen in our age group. Every year there's about 55,000 syphilis infections, 800,000 gonorrhea infections, and 1.4 million confirmed gonorrhea infections. All these are preventable, but all these are treatable. Sadly though, only HPV, which is human papillomavirus, genital warts, only that has a high rate, and that's viral, and it sticks with you for life. So it's amazing that all these bacterial infections have such high numbers when they're all treatable. As I told you in the introduction, there are more than 55,000 cases every year of syphilis. That number goes way higher in developing countries, i.e. the places we all go to deploy. It's an all-American disease. It's been around since the days of the colonial times. We picked it up from the Native Americans, brought it over to Europe, and spread it all around the world. It still plagues us to this day. It's spread through contact with a sore during vaginal, oral, or anal sex. Now, I have seen one case of eye syphilis. There's a strip club at Fort Bragg called Sharky's. Rayburn, Bohannon, Hyberg. You guys are always familiar with the place, right? Never been there maybe, but you know of its existence. Anyway, this place is well known for being a very nasty place. I believe it's on the blacklist now, but that doesn't prevent people from going to it. Anyway, so this guy goes up and puts his money in the stripper's G-string when she's up on stage, and through the course of her wrapping her legs around his head and slamming his face into her private area, he came in contact with a sore, which caused syphilis to infect his eyes. It presents a lot like pink eye. And the only way that they were able to get rid of it was by dropping ophthalmic erythromycin into his eyes. It's not the one you want, all right? Now, what is a sore? A sore can be found in the penis, vagina, anus, rectum, lips, and inside the mouth. Syphilis is called the great imitator because its myriad of symptoms imitate a lot of other diseases and dermatological issues. When you're infected, you first develop a painless sore that lasts 3 to 6 weeks. It'll look like an infected or an ingrown hair or a cut from your zipper, but it'll be painless. You might not even notice it at first. During the secondary phase, a non-itchy rash spreads around your feet and palms of your hands. It can cause permanent spotty discoloration. You may also have weight loss, patchy hair loss, lymph node swelling, irritability, headaches, neck stiffness, unequal reflexes, and you may even become paralyzed. If not treated in the late stages, it can cause coordination difficulties, numbness, blindness, paralysis, dementia, and even death. Diagnosis, however, is usually made by a blood test. Oral doxycycline and azithromycin are two very common antibiotics that we have on hand in the aid station to treat you. And penicillin G can be given for neurosyphilis, which is when the syphilis starts to give you the crazies, dementia and such. While syphilis is certainly terrifying, long term, it doesn't compare to the immediate desire to fix the problems caused by gonorrhea. To review, there are 800,000 cases of gonorrhea every year. Gonorrhea attacks the mucosal lining of the penis, but did you know it can also be contracted orally and anally as well? It's pretty fucked up. The oral symptoms, according to medicine.net, can be asymptomatic. When it does present, it causes symptoms similar to strep. The same redness, discharge, and white spots in the back of the throat. The anal symptoms can be soreness, itching, painful bowel movements, bleeding, and a milky discharge. While it may not seem like something that all of us have to worry about, remember that even when using a condom, vaginal fluids and sweat can still convey that bacteria to your rear end. Finally, we get to the classic gonorrheal infection, the penis. We all know the most common symptoms. Give me some. Gonorrhea, what does it look like?
It's green.
Can be green.
Discharge.
Discharge, there we go. What else?
Disfiguration.
No. Good try. All right. Painful urination. Discharge in a white, yellow, or green color. And less common, but still terrifying. Painful and swollen testicles. So yeah, you got the painful urination. It basically feels like you're peeing razor blades. You guys have ever have a UTI or a non-gonococcal urethritis? No? You guys are lucky.
Yeah.
It's extremely painful. You basically feel like you want to die.
Yeah.
Alright, treatment is simple though. Oral or injectable penicillin 5, doxycycline, or azithromycin can easily eradicate every bit of gonorrhea. After getting treated, you need to wait at least a week before having sex with anybody because you can sit down, man. Because you can still infect people even though you have already taken the antibiotics. Drug-resistant strains are becoming more common though, due to antibiotic misuse. The best friend to gonorrhea is often the silent and sneaky infection. It often comes along with gonorrhea as an added bonus.